All right, in this video, I'm going to briefly explain what we do at IDMA and give you a high-level overview of how everything works. So let's get to it. Now, IDMA is a growth consulting and management firm for e-commerce and direct-to-consumer brands. At IDMA, our philosophy is simple. Every brand starts with an idea, but to become one of the brands that lead the future of digital retail, that idea must become a movement, and that requires a comprehensive strategy. Because of this belief, we do more than just run ads. We architect a profit-driven infrastructure that transforms brands. Ads are just one element of our comprehensive IDMA growth infrastructure, meticulously designed to maximize long-term profitability. Our high-level, structured approach makes us true growth partners, not merely service providers. Now, that said, at IDMA, we simply help e-commerce brand owners grow their e-commerce brand to multiple 7 or 8 figures a year in top line revenue in a profitable, predictable, and sustainable manner. And we do this in 2 ways. So the first way we do it is through YouTube content, like the videos that you see on our channel, right? And consulting, the free consultations that we offer to brand owners, right, to solve any specific problems they might be facing with their digital marketing efforts, right? So that offers knowledge and understanding. So YouTube content and free consultation calls, right? And that's for free, right? The second way we help brand owners is through an IDMA partnership. And this is where we actually take care of execution. We implement our growth infrastructure and we manage it on behalf of the brand owner, right? And this is obviously paid, right? This is how we get paid. Now, we offer the IDMA partnership because knowledge and understanding alone are not enough for growth. You also need seamless execution. So I'm going to zoom in on this part so you guys can see this diagram. Yeah, that should be enough. So, of course, as you can see, your current situation, knowledge and understanding is necessary, right? It's just half the equation, right? The other half of the equation is the execution part. And this is where we come in. Of course, you can execute what we advise you to do by yourself, or you can maybe become a partner if you're obviously qualified and you meet our required standards, right? But yeah, so we offer the IDMA partnership, and this is how we make money at IDMA, of course, right? So the implementation and management of our growth infrastructure. Cool. And as a brand owner, you make more money when you experience growth, right? Desired situation, growth, you make more money, right? This is self-explanatory. So one half of the equation is knowledge and understanding, and the other half of the equation is execution. It's very important. Knowledge and understanding without execution doesn't mean anything, right? It's just your brand won't grow, even if you know everything you need to know. Without execution, without the seamless execution, your brand won't scale, right? So that's where we come in. If you meet the required standards to become an IDMA partner. That's it. Let me zoom back out. When you become an IDMA partner, you get paired up with an IDMA growth team to scale your brand a lot faster than you would by yourself. For those who may not know, an IDMA growth team consists of one highly experienced growth consultant and obviously specialized marketers that come together to influence and or manage the growth of an e-commerce/DTC brand through their unique insights and our IDMA growth infrastructure. So when you become an IDMA partner, you get paired up with a growth team that essentially takes care of the execution on your behalf, right? And this is what the growth team will look like. Let me zoom in here again so you guys can see this in this diagram in a lot more detail. 125, I think even 150. Let's do 150 quickly. So that's growth team. So obviously this is what growth team looks like. So you have the growth consultant, right, which is the person responsible for the brand that we partner with, and obviously the specialized marketers, right, underneath, right. So this is what growth team looks like. Essentially, it's what growth team looks like. All right. So cool. Let's continue. Let's zoom out and continue. Cool. Our IDMA growth teams implement and operate our IDMA growth infrastructure on the brand owner's behalf to achieve profitable, predictable, and sustainable growth. Right. So I'm gonna say this again. Our IDMA growth teams implement and operate our IDMA growth infrastructure on the brand owner's behalf to achieve profitable, predictable, and sustainable growth. Our growth infrastructure can be divided into 5 equally important components. So you have offer refinement, offer refinement and audience research, that's one component. Paid promotion, that's a second component. Funnel optimization, that's a third component. Retention, which is email and SMS, that's a fourth component. And then brand strategy and organic promotion, which is the fifth component of our growth infrastructure, right? So Our growth teams implement and operate our IDMA growth infrastructure on the brand owner's behalf. And obviously, these are the 5 components of the growth infrastructure. These 5 components combined make up our growth infrastructure. Now, you might be wondering, what's a growth infrastructure? So a quick definition of this, just to briefly define the term. Is a growth infrastructure is an integrated set of systems, technology, and processes that support and enable marketing activities at scale. I'm going to zoom in here because this is very important. All right, because we get this a lot. What's a growth infrastructure? We get this a lot. So a growth infrastructure is an integrated set of systems, technology, and processes that support and enable marketing activities at scale. In simple terms, a growth infrastructure is the foundation that your e-commerce brand needs to scale profitably. So this is what a growth infrastructure is. So a set of systems, technology, and processes that support and enable marketing activities at scale. This is what allows you to scale profitably, right? Because it's not just about scaling aggressively and just scaling for the sake of scaling. We need to scale profitably so you can continue to make money. Of course, this might depend on what your objectives are. Some brands might not care about profits. They just want to grow in terms of enterprise value. They want to grow their enterprise value. So being profitable is not that important. But these companies are usually backed by investors. So they have, seed money. They have investor money. So they don't really need to be profitable, right? But I'm guessing if you're a brand owner starting from scratch, or that's just starting by themselves without any investors, you want to be profitable as you scale, because you don't have any other source of income or money coming in to the business, right, through investors, right? So for most brands, you want to be scaling profitably. There's going to be a small percentage of brands that scale without needing to be profitable, right? Because they're trying to build enterprise value, right? And they scale aggressively. But for most brands, that's not the case. For most brands, you want to scale profitably. But anyways, topic for another day. Now, let me zoom back out. So this is what growth infrastructure is. Let me zoom back out. 100. Yeah, cool. Our IDMA growth teams use the IDMA growth infrastructure as the foundation to execute marketing strategies and campaigns effectively. Their expertise and skills help to maximize the value and impact of our IDMA growth infrastructure. So it's not just our growth infrastructure, it's the talented pool of marketers that we have at IDMA that also help you deliver the results that we're looking for that we want to achieve for the brands, right? So the skills and expertise is what helps us achieve the results, not just the growth infrastructure, right? The unique insights, it also helps, right? So that's that. So this is a diagram, once again, just to display what this would look like. So our growth team and the growth infrastructure is what allows us to achieve the results that we're able to achieve for the brands that we partner with, right? It's not just the growth infrastructure, right? It's the team around there as well, right? And their unique insights, their skills and experiences, right? That's it. So this is what it is. That's it. Now, this last part is very important. Now that you know who we are, who we help, and how we help them, now it's important for you to understand our proven approach to scaling e-commerce brands, especially as we look ahead to 2025 and beyond. I've made an in-depth video breaking down our IDMA growth thesis, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video. All right, so I've made a video just breaking down our proven approach to scaling e-commerce brands, and I've titled the IDMA growth thesis. You should see it on our channel, but I'll also leave a link in the description down below so you can check it out. It's very important, right? And once you watch that video, you will see the importance of having our IDMA growth infrastructure, right? The reason we created our IDMA growth infrastructure was because of our IDMA growth thesis, right? It makes sense. So I will strongly suggest you check out that video. I'll leave the link in the description to the IDMA growth thesis breakdown video that I made, right? But yeah, that's it. This is what we do, and this is how we help brand owners. I'll see you in the next one. If you have any more questions, leave them down below, and I'll be happy to make another video answering those questions. But yeah, see you in the next one.